Hey, this is Michael here. I hadn't posted anything in a while and want to give you a update on my experience with Mcelroy truckline. So I've been here since January, so I've been here 8 months, and so far it's been a good experience. Mcelroy has done everything that they told me that they would do. So I wanted to kind of take you through a week of what to expect. If you were like me when when I was in school to get my CDLs, I was, kind of wondering what life was like on the road and, what all that entailed. So I'm just going to kind of give you a quick rundown. My last video was about 30 minutes long. I got tired of watching it myself, so I'm going to try to make this one a little bit shorter. So basically, I leave out on Sunday. When I say Sunday, it's usually somewhere between 3 in the afternoon and 5 in the afternoon, somewhere along in there is when I leave. Usually it's about a 150 mile track to where I'm going, give or take. Sometimes it's 250, sometimes it's 75, but on average it's about 150 miles. And so I usually get to where I got to deliver Monday morning by 8 o'clock at night on Sunday night, and then I get up Monday morning, and that's when I make my first delivery for the week. Once you send in your empty at final, you immediately get your next load, and you do that all week. And basically, I'm looking at my e-logs right now. I drove 426 miles today. I drove 390 yesterday, 366 the day before that, 302 the day before that. And that's usually about where I wind up day to day. Anywhere from 350 miles to 500, somewhere along in there. The most I've done in one day is 600, and I take that back. I went down to Texas. I volunteered to go to Texas, and I had a 700 mile day. But I was nothing but driving. No unloading or loading. It was just a long track to where I was going. So basically on Friday morning, you're at a delivery wherever. They usually get you unloaded first thing. It can be as early as 4 o'clock in the morning, as late as 7 o'clock in the morning. Once you get unloaded, they will get you another load to pick up in the vicinity of where you are, and then you go pick that load up and you go on home for the week. Sometimes they send you home empty, and you have to just leave out on Sunday, go pick up your load for Monday morning, and then drive to where your delivery is Monday. So that's how that works. Let's talk about pay. What can you realistically expect? Now I'm fresh out of truck driving school. I went to the North Carolina Truck Driver Training Academy. It wasn't a CDL school. It was a teaching you how to be a professional truck driver. It was an 8-week class. I think it was like 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, so it was pretty intense. But anyway, Mcelroy has a $700 minimum. So basically, if you only have one load that week, you would at least make $700. And that's not bring home, that's before taxes. That hasn't happened. The only time that has happened, and I was out sick for 2 weeks, and because I was sick with COVID, Mcelroy paid me for my 14 days I was quarantined, they paid me 2 weeks. So after taxes and everything that come out, I think I made $475 just to sit at home and be sick. So that was pretty good. But that was only because I had the Rona. So average paycheck for me is somewhere between $800 and $900 a week bring home. That's sometimes it's more, sometimes it's a little bit less. So if I had to average it out, it's probably $850 a week bring home. That's realistic, what you can expect. I'm driving a 2017 International. It's got 380,000 miles on it. It's been a good truck. It's run good for me. Don't come in here thinking that you're going to get a brand new truck, and there are guys that come in that get brand new trucks. I had 2 in my orientation class. Both of them got 2021s. So it does happen. If you've got an automatic restriction on your license, you're more than likely going to get at least a 2019 truck. So there's that. There's opportunities. Like I said earlier, I was able to go down to Texas because they were hurting for help down in Texas. So I was able to go down there for 6 weeks and work. I was gone from home for 6 weeks. I volunteered to do that. They pay you $200 extra a week because you're out over the weekends, because I live in North Carolina, and obviously, they weren't going to route me back home, so I stayed in Texas for 6 weeks in my truck. And the pay was okay. I think I was averaging bringing home about $1,000 a week. So that was pretty good, but I got a wife at home and I was ready to get back home, so that's what I did. Also, they have a need for people in Wheatfield, Indiana, so you can actually go up there for 6 weeks or so and work straight if you want to, and that's a $1,500 a week minimum. The only problem is you got to deliver to Chicago, so that's why I've not done that. I have no desire whatsoever to go to Chicago for anything. I've not left nothing in Chicago, nothing against Chicago, but I have no business being there, and I ain't going. So yeah, you can do that. Back to home every weekend. On Fridays, I usually get home anywhere between 12 noon and 5 in the afternoon. So somewhere in there, I'm usually home every Friday in time to cut my grass before it gets dark. And then I get all day Saturday off and most of the day Sunday off, and then I go back out. How long am I going to be here? I don't know. And it's not because anything against Mcelroy. It's just that sometimes I miss, a lot of times actually, all the time, I miss being at home, being at home with my wife, and I miss being able to tinker around in my garage, and I like to do little projects and weld and stuff like that right there. And when your only day home is excuse me, Saturday, it kind of limits what you can get done around the house. So if I do leave, it'll be for a job where I can be home, every day. But as far as working for Mcelroy, they've been pretty good to work for. I don't have any complaints. Anytime that I've had an issue, I've called my fleet manager, Bobby. He's super cool, and we always get it worked out. And that doesn't happen very often as far as me having, issue with something. And I had an issue last week where I got a text message from another driver saying they were coming to get my truck. And I was like, why are you coming to get my truck? And he said, they told me I was supposed to come pick it up. I said, well, I'm supposed to go back to work Sunday. And that was during when I was out with coronavirus. Long story short, I called my fleet manager and I was like, why y'all coming to get my truck and I'm supposed to go back to work Sunday? And he was like, I don't know anything about that. So he said, let me find out what's going on. I'll call you back. So he called me back about 15, 20 minutes later. He said, don't worry about it. I got it taken care of. It was a misunderstanding. I said, well, Bobby, I'm just going to be honest with you. Y'all to come pick my truck up. And I had to go out there sick like I was and get my TV and my refrigerator and all my belongings out of that truck. It wouldn't have went back in another Mcelroy truck. I can tell you that. I just won't want to do that. I mean, it's your truck. You can do what you want to with it. It don't belong to me. I'm just using it, but I feel like I'm getting evicted. So if I'm going to be evicted, I'm going to be evicted. I'm not going and just have to turn around Sunday and have my wife drive me to, Pleasant Hill, which is 2 hours away where our terminal is, and, scramble around, try to find another truck just to go do my job. And he understood, and I don't know why they were coming to get it or thought they were coming to get it or whatever the case was, but he got it worked out. And I've learned that if you call your fleet manager, if you've got an issue, if you just call your fleet manager, they'll do whatever it takes to get the situation fixed for you. Let's talk about tarping and untarping and stuff like that real quick, because maybe you do. If you're an experienced truck driver, I'm sure you do, but if you're not, like myself, I didn't know exactly what 85% no tarp meant. It sounds great, but what that means is we haul a lot of stuff for Lowe's distribution center. We haul to, that's where I'm at right now. Actually, I'm at a Lowe's in Weaverville, North Carolina. So 80% no tarp means that when you go get your load, there's already tarps thrown over your load. And when I say thrown over your load, that's exactly what I mean. It's just thrown over your load, and you've got to get it fixed like you want it. You just don't physically have to put the tarp on top of your load. So yeah, that's what that means. It can be aggravating because the people that tarp your loads or throw the tarp on your loads, they don't care. They just throw it up there, stick, four. If it's one tarp, they'll stick about 4 or 5 bungees on there. If it's 2 tarps on that load, they'll stick about 8 on there, and then you got to do the rest of it yourself. So you still have to mess with the tarp on every load. Untarping is not fun. I don't enjoy it. Matter of fact, if I had to choose, I'd rather tarp than untarp. I just hate it. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. When you do do a live load like lumber, if you go to Georgia Pacific or warehouse or somewhere like that and they load you live and you got a tarp, most of the time they have a tarping shed. Basically what that is a big shed, and it's got a chain hoist that's got a bunch of hooks on it, and you roll your tarp out on the ground and hook your chain hoist to the tarp, to the D-rings on the tarp, and it'll pick the tarp up and drape it over your load for you. You just use a little controller to do it, and once you get that done, then you just bunch it up like you want it and go on about your business. And it's almost every place that I go to has one that I get a live load. Now there's some places that they have a tarpon shed, but they won't let you use it. So basically, they don't want you on their property tarping your load, and you can figure that one out. They want you to go outside the road and tarp your load. That way, if you fall off and break your neck, you can't sue them for it. So what they do is while they're loading your stuff up, you take your tarps that are rolled up and you put them on top of the load, and then they sit it on top of the trailer. And then you pull out beside the road and you climb up on top of your load and you roll your tarp out and you tarp it. That's just the way it is. And now that's only a couple places that are like that. Most places you can use a tarping machine. And to be honest with you, it's just as easy to climb up there and do it as it is to use the tarping machine once you get the hang of doing it. But it's a lot safer to use a tarping machine. I hate heights. I hate climbing up there. I despise it. And in Texas, I did it a whole lot. Just about every Georgia Pacific I went to, you had to go outside the road and tarp your load. And it was hot, and I didn't like it at all. Lost a lot of weight, but that's another thing. I've lost 40 pounds since I started with Mcelroy. Just simply because every morning I've got a pretty good cardio workout, untarping my load, folding my tarps and picking them up, throwing them on the trailer, all that stuff. So if I had to go back and choose again, would I choose Mcelroy? Yeah, I would. Just simply because they've been fair to me, and they've done exactly what they told me they would do, and I accepted the terms in which they hired me. So now, after being in it, do I think they could do a little bit better in certain areas? Yeah, I feel like, and it's just my opinion, I feel like I work for free some, and what I mean by that is when you tarp a load on a live load, they pay you $25. Yeah, but they don't pay you to untarp, so you don't get paid to untarp. You don't get paid to unstrap. You don't get paid to secure the load that they just throw the tarp over. You don't get paid to put bungees on and put your straps on and all that stuff. So you don't get paid extra for that. And I think that aspect, I think they could do better on. But again, when they hired me, they said, this is what we'll pay you. And that's what I agreed to. So this video is not to, it's just simply to give you a clear understanding of what to expect if you want to come to work for Mcelroy, if you want to drive a flatbed. I will say this, there are a lot of drivers at Mcelroy that's been here 10 plus years, so evidently it is a good place to work. I met a guy today, he's been here 13 years. I know there's several that's got 15 plus years in with Mcelroy. So, but anyway, thanks for the comments that you've left, and people that have gotten up with me, asked me questions. The best way to do it is just ask on the comment section down here, and I'll get back with you. I got an issue with Facebook. I had a Facebook page, but it just stresses me out. There's just too much going on in the world, and there's just too many different opinions, and stresses me out. So I deactivated my Facebook page. So if you need to get up with me, you can get up on, and then if you want to talk or whatever, then I can get up with you, call you or whatever, and answer any questions that you may have. So anyway, I hope you have a good day. I hope this has helped, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. All right, thank you.